Okay, so my day this morning didn't start very well. What can I say? I have my ups and downs just like everyone else. More frequently than in uh, recent days, especially. I'm going to undo this. It's more comfortable. Anyways, more recently in the past couple of years, and trying to decompress all of the things that have happened to me in my life as a young man, and including my relationships with women, and my relationship with society, with the RCAF, uh, with the military itself, and these moments that influence us for the rest of our lives, these imprints, uh, these tears in the rain, because after the fact, you know, when you die, a lot of your memories go with you. And I'd rather not my memories disappear. Photographs, they're the most important thing to me. I could care less about photographs, paintings, uh, textbooks, some items of clothing, mementos. These are the most important things to me. Sentimentality, definitely. And, I've been thinking about the military my entire life. From the moment I saw an airplane, I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to be a pilot. I want my life to mean something. Um, and my awkwardness, however it is, or however it's interpreted, uh, is just a byproduct of being uneasy with other people who don't understand the higher power of collective effort and don't understand the consequences of their actions. Because it takes an entire village to raise a child. And, as a Christian, I don't always appear to be so. I don't go to church. I don't read the Bible frequently. I don't I don't wear a cross around my neck. All of these things could be considered sacrilege by certain denominations of Christianity. But I walk the path as best I can. Now, the foundation of Canadian culture, society, and jurisprudence is that of Christianity. And when people think of Masonry, there's this conception of these spooky people, the secret society, but you never know who is and who isn't. The same with a Christian, and same with a police officer or an intelligence operative. Now, we don't always get it right, and I'm not associated directly with any of these organizations. I do this out of my own volition and my own motivations, because I'm just tired of standing on the sidelines and talking about this and chasing my tail, not fulfilling my manifested destiny, the plan that I had for myself in my life when I was a young boy. The youth programs that my parents put me through, the team building exercises, the trips that I've taken, the places that I've slept, the provinces I've been to, the aircraft I've fixed, the vehicles that I've had my hands on, all the skills that I've learned, all the books I've read, all of the classes and lectures that I've attended, all the things that I've learned, all of the hours in front of a computer, running through simulations, trying to figure out what was the best way and how to do something. with as little material as possible, because it just seems like that in my life that no matter what, I haven't gotten what I deserve, and what I deserve is far better. I don't say this out of egotism, because it's not in life, especially if you're coming from a pure and loving standpoint, something that fosters another person, that it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. What matters is that you get back up. And I've been knocked down so many times, more than I can count, right? More than I wish to remember. And my life has not been easy. And it's been very hard to communicate, even with my own family, because I didn't always have the words. These anxieties and these traumas that we talk about, from childhood, and where I was not accepted. I always felt like was treated as an outcast, a gaijin, a weirdo, because of my peculiar behaviors and my tendency to act out and want to entertain people. That the school system, as far as I'm concerned, failed me. Cadets failed me. Scouts failed me to a degree. And I put my heart and soul into every one of these moments in my early life, because I wanted to be something more. I wanted to be something better. I wanted to mean something to other people. Because you're either in servitude, in service to someone, or servicing something. No matter what, you can't avoid responsibility to the rest of humanity. And you can't avoid responsibility as a citizen of a country or as a member of a community. We can run as far and as wide and as long as we can as we are able from our pasts and from our families. But you can't outrun your memories. Now, I was not always, as I said, I was not a popular guy. And I'm still not a popular guy. In fact, I go around and I'm raging on people frequently now, because I've just had enough. I'm so sick and tired of not being respected for what I've done and for who I am. 22 years. 22 years of learning how to paint like I do. A decade learning how to fix an airplane. And never consistently. I've never had a proper apprenticeship. Not ever. Because people wanted to keep me out. Because of whatever reason. Their jealousy, their ineptitude, their spite, their hate, and their pride. Now, I'm trying to speak to this camera as if it's a person, because I know I want you to be involved in this, as the viewer. And like I said, and I've said before in some of these videos, I'll put this in bits and bytes, I've been robbed of so many opportunities because no one wanted to recognize that I had the perseverance. They wanted to recognize my cocky attitude. They wanted to recognize, a tendency towards psychopathy. Or that there's something wrong with that kid. I have always tried to be the best that I can be, no matter what. Because there's more to military life and military doctrine and discipline than killing people. You know, what I owe to cadets is, in part, my sexual development and my love and respect for women. This is fucking obvious. And even though I like to screw with people and I've liked to screw with women at times, you know, I didn't always have the correct way. I didn't always have the right guidance, or I had anger at how other people have treated me over the years, or how women have even treated me over the years. Because of, I recognize I'm attractive. I recognize that I can be entertaining and that I have a degree of charisma, but I can't do this all the time. It's exhausting. You know, people in general, the general population, does not understand the actual amount of effort that it takes to be an artist and to be an engineer or to be a lawyer or anything else that takes so much dedication and personal development. Some things follow you for the rest of your life. Some things that are not deserving and are heavy-handed. Extremely heavy-handed. You know, I still have sentiments and memories, and people tell you to move on. How am I supposed to move on when the people that these opportunities have been given to do absolutely nothing with them? I have a right to be angry. You know, this is why, again, I witnessed something when I was in a few things in cadets that really turned me off. That really, you know, amped up the disillusionment and the collision with reality of humanity. You know, the nepotism, the egos, the politics. And the failures. Because, you know, the most valuable person as a leader, as exemplary by the U.S. Rangers or by the Navy SEALs. You know, that the leader is not the best at everything. He's not even a specialist. Right? He can fulfill any role that's required in a squad. Because that's what it takes. So my question at this point is, what price have we paid in establishing this new identity? What is the new identity? And why? For who? Because it definitely isn't for me. And it definitely isn't for other young men. You know what really inspired me when I was in cadets was when I was at Trenton. And, you know, I'm in basic or I'm at ITLC, one of the two. And, you know, the Globemasters, the U.S. Air Force was training pilots, Canadian pilots, doing touch and goes frequently. You know. And my father, he took me down to the U.S. Air Force Museum in, I can't remember exactly. I'm sorry, it slips my mind at the moment. I didn't prepare for that. I'm just, again, I do this as as real as possible and without rehearsal. You know, I'm directly staring at myself right now. So, like, as I stood before the judge yesterday, or 2 days ago now, this is who we are, whether we like it or not. And we can't run from our past, and we should stop erasing it. Because if we erase our past, we get the same scenario as residential schools. If we erase a people, we erase an identity for the influx of more and for the influx and reign of slavery. Because that's what it is. In 2023, we use immigrants as slaves. And we use our own people as slaves, except we've made it more complicated with third parties, placement agencies, and a lack of a social contract. You know, that's what the Leviathan is about. It's about the establishment and maintenance of a social contract. And I got so tired. I've become so tired and so angry because I'm the one going inside that fucking fuel tank. I'm the one risking my life, limb, and liberty, and sacrificing my relationships because I don't want to get involved with a woman when I'm out there, right? You don't shit where you eat. When the possibility of me leaving is that, you know, the next time I make a mistake and I have no safeguards, I have no access to welfare. I live like a dog eating scraps under the table. And I'm fucking tired of that. I don't deserve that. And other people don't deserve that either. And just like me, military people do not deserve to be treated like lab rats. They didn't sign up for that. They didn't sign up to be cannon fodder for people that don't care about them. Because war is a blood sacrifice for people that don't care about you and don't understand the realities of living and of life. Because life is violent. It's violent. And it's non-negotiable. You have to participate. I can't sit in front of a computer anymore for very long. I can't find motivation some days to get out of my bed. Because at some points it's like, what's the fucking point? If no one's going to appreciate me for who I am and how intelligent I am and the work I've put into myself, what's the fucking point? When people out there within the society at this moment get everything handed to them just because of who they are and what they represent. It's a tragedy. And it was preventable. But it's done for the advantage and the gain of others. I was offered a commission at the age of 19 into the CIC to go back and be a leader and be an example to other young people. But I turned it down. And the reason why I turned it down is because, frankly, of how gay people treated me and how women treated me and how I met whether this person was of, you know, a psychological operation or this was truly who they were, was a transgender soldier around children. Okay? I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to be an officer. I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve someone. I wanted to have the options that open up by doing something for someone else. And then the great insult of 2016 in my life, all those years later, after the disillusionment and the question of what am I really doing this for in university? Who am I really doing this for? Right? And then falling, because I came from a conservative Christian background, falling into alcohol abuse and escapism through video games. And I blamed other people for it because I was immature. There are realities of our lives. And this is the tipping point. And as far as I'm concerned, this is the tipping point. So no wonder I feel like life is pointless at times. Why am I here? What am I doing? I've risked my life and limb to just have a job. And people have not supported me because of money. Because of money. And greed. And a lack of forethought. Such money-hungry, grubbing bastards. That when I ask for compensation for something, I don't get respect because I'm a technician, because I'm a university dropout, because I'm a retread. I was going to be an officer. I would have found a way to stay in, and I would have found a way to deal with the onslaught of the LGBTQ Medusa, because that removes identity from people. It establishes this fake visage and this monster that contributes to the fall of civilization, because this happens every single time with the Mouse Utopia experiment. It's shown in the science, it's shown in the statistics, it's shown in the history. It's completely fucking obvious, but we don't want to acknowledge it. And it removes empowerment from men. And it destroys relationships. The great insult of 2016 is when I had more than a few years in the industry. And, I figured, hey, why not? Why not join the RCAF, be a mechanic, and do what I always wanted to do, and work myself up from being an enlisted man, become an NCO, and then maybe apply for officer school, right? Because the ideal scenario, whether or not I didn't have the marks when I was in high school to go to RMC, I didn't have the respect given to me by art schools across the nation when I was in Trent, and I was applying to various schools across, as I was saying, across the nation, like 3 or 4 different art schools. I was just trying to figure my life out and figure my place within this world like everybody else. But the world is not kind to people that come from nothing and then give everything that they can in order to rise up from that position of poverty. Because that's what happened to my family. I had a decent childhood, but my parents came from nothing, from basically nothing. like low end, middle class, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant, what have you, Anglican, English, French origins, Scottish, Irish, and you know, a bit of native. Not enough to claim, obviously, but it's there, as it is with so many other Canadians. To deny who we are and to erase ourselves to accommodate other people is suicidal. And I will not back down. I will not stand here and watch North America commit suicide for the accommodations of other people's ambitions, hopes, and dreams on the pathway to a better future. This is why I can't sleep at night. It's because I feel like I should be doing something. But what am I going to do? I don't have the resources. I don't have the capital. And I don't have the people to back me. So what's the point? Why even bother? For all the women I've ever loved. There's always a choice, you know, there's always an opportunity to make amends. So I'm staring at you right here, the D&D, the CIC, or CSIS, the Air Force. The choice is yours now. Build a bridge and get the fuck over it, because we got work to do. We got people to build up. We got huge problems because of the erosion of masculinity in favor of establishing this new wishy-washy social social justice, Marxism, fucking bullshit. What price have we paid in facing the Leviathan? And why are we doing this to ourselves? When so many people that are innocent are paying the price for it. The choice is yours. I've already made mine. I just wanted to be a fighter pilot.